Hello and welcome back to Sofia by Night, our Dark Ages Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Tonight I have two players starting with us. Did it again, starting with us. Playing tonight, we have Iskra, and what is her favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, wow. Did they have ice cream really?
They didn't. It was a
back
trick
then?
question.
Okay.
What was her favorite salted meat?
Probably bacon.
Bacon. And Praetor, his favorite salted meat?
I would say ham.
Ham. All righty.
Steamed hams.
Alrighty. Previously on Sofia by Night. Praetor met with Rhea, who is the Nosferatu elder in the city, and he found that she was she has an unsettling beauty to her, which is almost unknown to his clan. But he met with her, and she was a little standoffish given his sire's recent activities. But she did give him the clan's approval to occupy Turvel's vacant haven. Um, they had found that in recent nights someone had searched the house, leaving torn up documents in their wake. He did find a crude map detailing Bulgaria's eastern coast, with some kind of notation on the page, but it was in a language he couldn't read. Hildegard wants a plaything of her own now that she's seen how ghouls work, and wants to figure out how she can maybe get one of her own. The coterie had talked about maybe nabbing one of the three militia members who have been wandering the gutters, to possibly suit their needs for more information. The last we're picking up about four to five nights after the last episode. Um, Hildegard has been spending her last couple of evenings with Reynaldo. She's been learning the ways of controlling others with a look and a glance. Um, on the fourth night, she came back, and she seems almost a little more at ease with herself. Perhaps she's kind of learning how to use her abilities, and she's not, about the same person. She's just more confident. She doesn't seem snotty now that she's learning to be Ventru. But she's seeming to kind of gather some confidence about herself. Um, Other than that, for the other two characters, not really much has happened. Nights have been quiet at the Haven. There hasn't been anyone scratching at the door, knocking at the door, or anything like that. Is there anything that Praetor might have been doing these last couple nights?
No, probably not, other than making sure he feeds.
Okay,
He likes it quiet. No news is good news as far as Praetor is concerned.
good.
The less there is to worry about, the happier he is.
Exactly. Okay. And Iskra?
I think Escrow would have gone back to see Patia and say, hey, this is where we're at now, explaining the whole situation that put them in Turvel's previous house, and pick up some clothes and things like that.
Patia is cool. to her, not as in like, hey, we're friends. She's just,
No, no.
she seems receptive and is listening. And maybe things are easing a little bit. She really, just kind of, you haven't seen her. She's
Hmm.
pretty much been off the streets with staying home with Katerina. So, but things seem a little bit better. So,
All right. That'll do for now.
Stefan has been out at night, and he's been stalking the
Militia?
the militia. Yes, he's reported that there's been a couple nights he couldn't even find them, and then one night he noticed they had now had 5 members. They originally started with just 3. So it looks like they recruited 2 new members, and they continue their little patrols through the hood. Um, Not really talking to anybody. They just seem to be kind of stalking around with their weapons and monitoring the neighborhood. Um, he mentioned that the tall balding one that you had noticed. I thinks he remembers the name was Matthias. It seems to have recruited again two new members, and they're continuing their marches through the streets.
Are the new members as inept as the 2 he had originally?
One he said, man, would you believe it? They got a kid on a crutch. He's just kind of
Wow.
tottering along behind him, and then he goes, I can't even believe it. How could there be a fat kid? Aren't these people poor? But there's this fat kid who's joined them. So I don't know. Maybe they're just desperate for people to join them. But But yeah, they seem to have found 2 new members. So
Okay. Well,
It looks like the ineptitude continues.
yeah, that's accurate.
Hildegard
Maybe they aren't much to worry about.
Hildegard seems kind of intrigued by this. She's going, well, I want my own plaything, but I don't know if I want a fat kid or a kid on a crutch. She says, who was the other one? The one with the one with the sickle?
Oh yeah, he
Oh, the
didn't
scythe?
even.
Scythe.
Yeah, it's a scythe. Yeah, but
Scythe boy.
yeah.
And he wasn't even holding it correctly or something.
If he moved wrong, he's going to hit someone,
Exactly.
in close proximity that would be his ally.
Or himself.
Or himself. He could drop it wrong and, well, yeah.
Suddenly he's minus a few toes or fingers.
Something like this, yes. This person was not from a farming community.
Well, maybe I could practice some of the stuff that Ronaldo showed me.
But, on these men?
Yeah.
Or boys?
Yeah.
They're more boys than men. They don't seem.
Well,
the
but
leader might be.
the
leader might be a bit older, but I'm not sure.
Practice sounds good to me, at least to Praetor. In that, using your abilities and seeing how well they work or how resistant these folk are to such is useful information.
So how are we going to do this then? Do we go out looking for them?
I guess.
Make yourselves bait targets, or at least make yourselves look available. I don't know if that's the right word either. Make it look like you need their assistance, but without necessarily making it overt.
And Hildegard gives Iskra a look like, oh, Jesus, is he serious?
Iskra shrugs. I will figure something out, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an idea. I don't, however you attract their attention is up to you. It doesn't matter to me how it works, but finding a way to get them at least to acknowledge you is all we really need to do to start.
She sighs and she says, okay, let's go out and see if we can find them. So anything the group would like to do kind of before leaving the haven?
Hmm.
I have nothing special to accomplish.
Well, if Stefan has been out most of the night, like when was the last time he was fed?
Probably a couple days.
Yeah, Iskra's gonna go take care of that
Okay.
before she goes out.
Okay. We are going to do a rouse check. I'm going to assume you just fed him first, and then
Yeah.
we're going to do a rouse check just to see how things are. So, Matt, you would actually on your sheet, you click rouse check.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Your hunger increased to 1, as did Iskra's.
Okay.
And it automatically did it. That
Yep.
was cool.
Yeah. That's one of the things it does is it automatically fills it in for you. So,
Nice.
yep. So you guys head out into the evening, and Stefan will lead the way because unless you don't want him with you.
Oh no, it's fine.
Okay, because he's kind of known some of the places they seem to patrol, and leads you to a corner that's about, let's say, about 2 blocks away from Nightshade, and he kind of peers around the corner and kind of waves you guys forward. Um, you spot a group of young men. You do spot Matthias, the like I said, the leader. He's kind of a tall, kind of balding gray hair. It's balding brown hair. Let's not make the kid too old. And he is now surrounded by 8 other people.
Wow.
You recognize Scythe Boy. You also recognize one of the other founders, we'll call them, a tall, thin kid who's carrying a table leg as a weapon.
Wow.
There are two. There are. Let's see. There's a couple other kids. There is again a fat kid who seems to be kind of resembles Pugsley from the Addams Family.
Okay, sure.
A kid on a crutch, like a wooden crutch, who's kind of leaning on his crutch and looks like he's out of breath.
Oh no.
There are 2 greasy looking kids, greasy, dirty looking hair. They look very similar, like maybe they're brothers, like maybe one is, maybe a year older than the other one. And then standing next to Matthias, 2 kind of sharp looking kids. They're kind of clean cut. Uh, they don't seem to be carrying any kind of weapons that you can see, but they look like the smartest ones of the bunch, and they're staying by Matthias. And they're all kind of gathered around this corner talking. But you cannot hear from where you are what they are saying.
Okay. They haven't seen us yet?
Let me find out. Let's take a
Okay.
look. Would you attempt to stealth yourselves first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Okay. So let's roll. Actually, Matt, do you have I don't remember if you have obfuscate.
Yes, I do. I don't have Mask of 1,000 Faces, but I
Right.
think I have.
You've
I
Cloak
think
of
I have.
Shadows.
Yeah, I would definitely use that to help either myself or as many of us as I could.
Okay. Yeah. Let's before we start making rolls, let's just check. Stupid mouse. Okay. Let's see what Cloak of Shadows does.
User moves or detected by other means. So it's only if I'm standing still. We're
Okay.
definitely not standing still.
Okay.
Unseen passage, though. Let's see what that represents. Because I have obfuscate too. As long as the user emits no overpowering odors and no sound louder than a whisper, this power automatically works. Only if the observer has their attention drawn to the user can they make a detection roll.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that works on just me or a group.
I believe it's just you. So,
Okay.
So
I would still use it just to make sure they don't spot me, that they're focused more on the women.
Okay. I am going to make a roll then for Iskra to make sure see if she remains unseen. So we are going to go with, let's go with composure and stealth. Sounds like a really odd combination. Oh yeah, nobody sees you.
Oh,
You got a
cool.
messy critical in that you are you are the knight. So they do not see you. Now, if you would like to would you like to get closer or try to get closer to hear what they're saying?
Might be a good idea.
Um, you would be able to kind of creep down this alley a little bit. You would have to kind of get out of the alley and then kind of run towards. There's kind of an old um, shed, kind of fish market kind of booth that is a
Okay.
little bit closer to there.
Okay.
So Iskra is going to go. Is Praetor going to go?
Yeah,
Okay. Now I think yours is still good as long as you don't make noise.
yeah. And
Okay.
I have no intention to draw attention. I have no intention to draw attention to myself simply
Gotcha.
because I want them focused on the women.
Right.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
If we ran and we are vampires, can Stefan keep up?
We'll find out.
Okay.
Iskra manages to get over to the booth
Mhm.
quietly. Um, let's see. My friend Stefan. Uh, yeah, he does all right.
Awesome.
And Hildegard kind of just brings up the rear. So, um, and now that you're at a closer distance, you can hear and you can see Matthias talking. Um, and you hear him saying, "All right, well, tonight we're gonna try splitting up tonight and divide our forces to cover more ground." Uh, and he points to the two clean cut kids who are near him, the two newbies. They'll be coming with me. Um, Scythe boy, you're gonna take Pugsley. Not Pugsley. She didn't call him Pugsley. You're gonna take. He points to the fat kid and the kid on the crutch. You're gonna take them, and then the other three, which is the tall thin kid and the two greasy brothers. Um, that you see them now start to split up into groups of
Okay.
three. They're going opposite directions. Um, the to keep it simple, Matthias is group one, Scythe Boy is group two, and then the Greasy Brothers is group three. Um, Group three starts heading towards Nightshade, starts heading in that direction. Um,
Oh.
uh, Group one, that's Matthias,
Hmm.
goes, let's just keep it simple, goes north. Um, and then group two, Scythe Boy, they go east. So we will assume that Nightshade is west of here, just to keep it simple. So, but
Okay.
they split up into three groups. They do one of the groups does pass by your uh, location, but doesn't seem to notice you guys.
Okay. So, Hildegard, which of these three groups would you prefer to
Ugh.
see?
Uh,
I know, I know.
she goes, probably the. She goes, I don't know. She goes, I don't know if I want to go near that Matthias, but do we want the leader or do we want
No,
a lackey?
maybe no. If he's the one running it and we're trying to gather information and we remove him from that in some way, I don't. It could get messy.
Okay, so we're, I guess we're group two or group three, and then she says the that one group, they look like they're heading in the direction of Nightshade.
Yeah.
She goes,
Yeah, I think
it's
they
I.
are.
She goes, I guess I got to go with. She goes, I don't want the kid on the crotch. I don't think he's gonna be much use to me. Uh,
Probably true. Yeah.
so she goes,
Hmm.
so I guess probably the group three because the brothers or the kid with the table leg.
Yeah. I mean, you don't actually. I mean, if we could talk to them, and I'll make up some lie, but you don't have to, choose from only these groups if it's not going to suit you.
Okay, yeah, that's. She goes, that's a relief. She goes, I thought I had to pick one tonight.
No, we're just giving you options. That's all.
And what does Praetor think?
I don't want to follow Matthias's group,
Okay.
simply to see how inept they really are, and also to really see what they're really up to. I mean, he's only heard this secondhand
Mm-hmm.
from his two friends here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of like, well, maybe they don't really, it's not that he doesn't believe them, but he really wants to see their capabilities for himself.
Okay.
That's
So
fair.
he'll try to follow Matthias as best he can. I mean, he's fairly stealthy, even without using his obfuscate powers.
Okay. All right. So he's going to go by himself then?
Yeah, I mean, he thinks he can handle himself. So,
Okay.
especially against three mortals.
Okay. So Praetor is then going to go follow Group 1, and then Stefan, Hildegard, and Iskra. We go after Group 3.
I think so.
Do you want Stefan with you, or
Yes.
okay? Because if they spot him, they might recognize him.
Well, I have a lie in mind, so
Okay.
it'll work.
Alrighty. Then we're going to start off with Praetor. You follow the guys. I believe they were going north. They seem to be kind of have their act together. You see them kind of walking past shops. They're kind of checking doors to make sure doors are locked. They're kind of tapping on windows. Kind of looking in alleys as they seem to kind of have like an agenda, like they're definitely checking for things, and they might also be looking for something specific. um, they kind of walk with their heads held high, really really kind of confident in what they're doing. They don't seem to spot you. You do seem to manage to keep out of their notice. um, they don't seem to be going anywhere particular though. Again, just kind of doing a patrol. Um, it kind of takes them to the kind of the far edge of the slums, but they seem to stay within it. They don't cross over. They seem like they're very dedicated to protecting this neighborhood. So you follow them probably for about half an hour. They kind of stop some places you'll stop, and end up kind of making a loop, and then kind of heading back then towards the corner.
Okay. Um, Basically, I will watch them until, like, if it looks like they're just running a standard kind of patrol circuit,
Hmm.
I will probably only watch them for hour to an hour and a half,
Okay.
just to make sure that, okay, yeah, they're sticking to a standard kind of patrol circuit. And if they don't appear to be, if nothing happens to them,
Hmm.
he might then go try to find where Group 2 was headed and see if he can find them. Now that he knows what they all look like,
Okay.
just he knows that while the slums are kind of the area where vampires
Hmm.
haunt, if you will. If nothing happens to them in the first hour and a half or so, then he's like, well, then let me see if something else happens.
Okay.
So
Okay. So we can do that. We can after we check in with Iskra, we'll come back
Okay.
to Praetor. Okay. Your small group follows them. Um, they seem like they're not really doing much of anything but walking through the streets. They aren't checking doors. They aren't looking down corners. They're kind of strolling along, and actually stop right outside of Nightshade.
Oh.
How close do you want to get to them?
Is this the one with the kid with the scythe?
Yes. No.
Okay.
This is, no. The
No, it's
site-
not? Okay.
No. This is.
So we don't know this group.
Not really. This
Okay.
was one of the original kids. He's the leader of this group is the kid with the table leg.
Oh, the kid with the table leg. Okay.
And the two greasy brothers.
Okay.
And they stop about maybe 10 yards from the 10 yards, excuse me, about 10 feet from the entrance to Nightshade.
Oh, okay. We should interrupt that probably.
And you actually do catch something. You do hear some words. You go in. No. You go in first. No. Let him go in first.
They're going to be at this all night. Well, Hildegard, should we go distract them?
Yeah, but they look like they're going to go into Nightshade. Should we let them go in and let the security take care of them, or
yes, but maybe talk to them first. You know, like
okay.
The one kid thinks we live here.
Okay.
You know.
So how do you want to do this? We want to just like walk by and oh hey, it's you.
I have a plan. Follow me.
Okay.
And I start walking.
Okay. Alrighty. Iskra taking charge. All right.
Yes.
All right. So Hildegard falls into step behind her, and
Stefan's coming with, I assume. So.
You want him to come with you?
Yes, you're our cousin. Trust me.
Okay. All right. Yes, madam.
Uh-huh.
So he follows up, and yeah, you're kind of in a V formation as you as you approach the kids. And the one of the Greasy brothers was picking his nose, but looks up and goes, "Oh, wait, who's this?" And
hello, we've met before. And I wave at the kid with the table leg.
And he's kind of like, yeah, yeah, you and your sister, right?
Right, yes. And this is our cousin. And I was so impressed with what your group has been doing trying to protect this town that I told him about it, and he was curious as to. He cannot join. He will not be staying with us for long. But just what you're up to. It was very impressive. What are you doing here?
You are going to make a subterfuge roll.
Okay.
It's going to be, let's see, subterfuge manipulation. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, you charmed the pants off them.
Oh, good.
And the kid with the table leg just kind of straightens up, and he's like, "Well, thank you. We're doing our best to keep the streets safe. We were just checking outside, making sure that no one's in trouble. We heard there might be something going on here."
Oh. It's kind of an impressive building. I wonder what's going on there.
And it almost sounds like Butthead. He's like,
All right.
We heard, he's like, I don't think I should say it in front of ladies.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
Well, you could get in trouble for it, I guess.
I'm confused. You could get in trouble for saying something to ladies.
Well, about what goes on in this place. He's like, oops, I said too much.
Well, all right then. That's a bit confusing. Have you noticed anything odd outside the building or anything like that?
Well, we heard that people go in and come out with less money. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, so gambling?
Hildegard slides up and looks at the guy. Looks at tall, thin kid, we'll just call him. And she's going to try out her newfound toys here. Let's see. Oh, okay. She goes, why don't you tell us specifically what you think they're doing in there? And he doesn't blink. He goes, there's prostitution in there. They have prostitutes. And then his two friends giggle.
Oh, so that's what you meant by people come out with less money.
Yeah. But don't tell anyone that we came over here. We're supposed to just be patrolling, but we thought maybe if we went in and checked it out inside, we could, just make sure that, that's not true, of course, because, we wouldn't go in places like that.
But you're about to go in places like that.
But
I'm a bit confused as to your motives. Are you honorable gentlemen or not?
well, yeah, we are. We definitely are. We just thought, that it'd be better to check it out so we could warn other people to not go there, because we need to gather evidence.
How would one gather evidence? It's a building. You could bring people to the building, but they won't. You know what I mean? I can't imagine what you hope to achieve.
You ask a lot of questions. You're making my head hurt.
Well, I can't help that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it sounds to me as though you just said that you weren't actually supposed to be here, but somewhere else. Where do you patrol? We wanted to learn about what you're doing here for people, and I don't know how it's going to help to go in there.
Do you want to walk the streets with us? I mean, I don't mean it that way. I mean, do you want to patrol with us?
And I look at my sister and go, "What do you think?
She goes,
maybe for a little while? Maybe,
she goes,
I don't know."
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
All right.
Show our cousin where you go.
Okay. So the group of 6 will take off in a second.
Got them away from the building.
Exactly. Good job.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
We are going to flash to Praetor. He has managed to find Scythe Boy, Fat Kid, and Kid on a Crutch. They're not moving very fast. They are.
Shocking.
They are occasionally checking a door, peeking in. The Fat Kid is peeking in windows, which looks kind of creepy. And the Kid on the Crutch is like huffing and puffing, and he's kind of fallen behind. But he thought he heard something. He kind of turns around real quick, and he's kind of looking in Praetor's direction.
I will attempt to hide as quickly as I can to avoid their notice.
Okay. You manage to duck behind random pile of garbage or something like that. It's the slums, so.
Yeah. Nosferatu homeland.
Exactly. So he keeps poking along, following the other 2. They do kind of follow a pattern. They kind of stop to rest a lot, mostly for the Fat Kid and the Kid on the Crutch. The Scythe Boy just kind of keeps swinging his scythe around like he wants to cut something, like he's looking for trouble. The most they find is a stray cat, which he swings his scythe at, and the cat moves out of the way and hisses at him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what you'll get if you mess with me."
About a lot of bluster, clearly.
Yes.
All right. He'll follow them again to see if anything happens to them.
Okay.
If he needs to either intervene or at least gauge their capabilities. Clearly, this is the lesser of the two groups, in his opinion.
I don't know why you say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to switch back then to Iskra.
Okay.
The group of 6, you now start to wander out. Stefan seems to hang out with one of the Greasy brothers.
Okay.
Tall Thin Kid seems to slide up next to Iskra.
Okay.
And they're all kind of pairing off.
All right.
And then the one brother is with Hildegard. So the group of 6. You do start to check doorknobs, windows, kind of peeking in alleys and stuff. When one of the kids, who's with Hildegard, goes, "Wait, I thought I saw something moving down that alley." And Hildegard goes, "Whoa, let me go with you. You shouldn't go by yourself." And they creep down this alley.
Okay.
And the rest of you stand there and wait. So.
Right. They'll figure out what it is, I'm sure.
Oh, all right. They should be okay. So they continue on. And then tall, thin kid. We'll have to come up with a name for him.
Mhm.
It's just kind of swinging the table leg, just kind of
The table
patting it
leg.
on his hand, patting on his hand. And he says, "Hey, look over there." And when you get to kind of the next alley,
Mhm.
there is a an older man who's kind of sitting in the alley, and he's freezing. He barely has any clothes on. He's holding a cloak over him, and he's shaking. Hey, look at this guy. What's he doing? Hey, you old man, you need to get in out of the cold. And the
I'm
old man
sure he would if he could.
is just shaking, just.
Is there a building next to him? Like, did he come
Yeah.
out of it, or?
No,
I
it looks
mean,
like he's just sitting on the ground next to the building. Uh, he's like, the old man goes, please, if you have anything you can spare, it's anything to help an old man.
oh, this is so sad. Is there someone? Is there someone we can bring him to that helps people? I'm not sure
Maybe
what I have.
maybe the church.
Okay, maybe one of you could escort him there. I know he's gonna need some help, like walking.
Okay. Uh, and he points over to the other kid, or the tall, thin kid points to one of the other greasy brother who was picking his nose. He says, "You two, you," and he points to Stefan. Take him to the church. Maybe the father can they can help him out. And they go over and they kind of help the old guy up and kind of help kind of take him by the elbows, and they're gonna kind of lead him off into the night. So now you are alone with table leg
Hmm.
kid.
Right, right. Oh, it looks like we've dispersed your group.
Yeah. Well, they're doing the Lord's work by taking that poor man to the church.
Of course, of
But I
course.
don't I don't know what happened to Edgar. And that would be probably the other brother. Hey,
Oh,
Edgar, he calls out and kind of starts to walk back towards the alley where you guys were.
oh, maybe they can't hear us from here. Let's go see.
Okay. So you make your way over to the alley. It is very dark in there with no light. Um, and you think you hear kind of a shuffle from in the alley, but just faint. But you can't quite see anything just yet.
Hmm. Oh, it sounds like there's rats in here.
Oh, rats! And he's like pats the leg and says, "I want something to smash."
Oh, well, they're usually very quick, I've heard.
And as you get further into the alley, you can now see um, that Edgar, the brother,
Mm-hmm.
is sitting down, and Hildegard is behind him, and she has her hands on his shoulders. She's kind of
Oh
just
boy.
glaring up at you guys like, "Go away." Hey, what are you doing with him? You two shouldn't be doing anything. You're not even married.
Oh no, of course they're not married. We heard rats. I'm sure he's been bitten by a rat, and we should move back in case he's contagious or something. Quick, quick, let's go. She can handle this. She has some healing.
Okay. Okay. So he's like, "Oh, all right, all right. Don't be having premarital sex."
Of course not. Why would they do that?
So they okay, he comes back out and
We'll just like wait, a little bit away, and she'll handle it. She does know
okay.
how to heal a bit.
Okay.
I mean, you don't want your friend to die, right?
Well,
I mean,
no.
rats have all kinds of diseases.
Well, I guess you're right. Should we get him to the church too to see if maybe somebody there can help him?
Oh, it depends on how bad he's injured, but she can manage. She's very good at this.
Okay, you wait a couple of minutes until you do hear some shuffling.
Hmm.
And Hildegard comes out holding hands with the kid, and he looks pale. Um, and he's like, I don't feel so good.
Oh, I was hoping that she could help you since she does know some healing. But you're walking around. That looks better.
Yeah. Hildegard says, "Let me, you know what? Let me walk him back towards the church. Maybe we can find someone who can help him." Um,
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. If you see our cousin, send him back this way.
and she looks at tall thin kid, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna see how she does. You don't remember what happened with him. You just know he wasn't feeling good and decided to go home early. And thin kid goes, "Yeah, it's better if he just goes home." So,
That's a smart decision. Yes. Mm-hmm.
so those two leave, and
Mm-hmm.
you are left alone with him. Anything else you'd like to do with him, or he seems a little
Well,
befuddled now?
right. Are you all right? You seem a little unsure of yourself at the moment.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe is all the maybe a rat bit me. I don't know.
Oh, it's possible. Maybe you should go home as well.
Yeah.
Rest and see if
Okay.
you feel better.
If you see Matthias, tell him we weren't feeling good. There's rats all over the place. We got bitten. We had to go home.
Right. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'll let them know if I see him.
Okay.
Don't worry.
And he kind of just wanders off down the street. So now you are left by yourself.
Okay. I'm gonna head towards the church, hoping that the people that went to help the man are coming back my way. And
Okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We are going to flash then over to Praetor. He was going to remind me again. I'm sorry.
He was going to follow Group 2
Group 2.
at this point
I
see how, basically watch them, see if anything happens to them, see if they start anything.
Okay.
Basically wants to see how good or bad they really are.
Okay. You do find Fat Kid peering in another window. He's kind of shuffling his nose up, and he's kind of looking through like a window. And you hear kind of a shout come from somebody inside the house, like "Ah!"
Okay. I do nothing. Just stay hidden. Let them burn themselves out.
And a door opens up, and a burly looking man comes charging out, kind of with a nightshirt on. And he says, "Who the fuck is looking at my wife through the window? Where is that kid?" And Fat Kid's, "I wasn't doing nothing, man. I was." So the burly man charges at Fat Kid and proceeds to start beating him down in the street, just pounding the crap out of this kid. Scythe Boy and Kid on Crutch do nothing but stand there and watch.
As well, he's done this to himself.
Yeah. So you just hear just a slap of fist on Fat Face, and and then he is just knocked out cold in the street, and the man gives him a kick, and then goes back into his house. Scythe Boy attempts to then drag Fat Kid away with the kid on the crutch, just kind of trailing behind. They seem to be heading back towards towards the corner where they originally met.
Clearly, nothing to worry about.
Okay. And
he'll, if nothing else, at that point, he would probably, if they look like they're going back, he would probably just leave. At that point, maybe try to rendezvous with Iskra or Hildegard.
Okay.
At that point, and just be like, okay, yeah, these guys are no threat.
Okay. He actually does, when he kind of makes his route through the ghetto. He does come across, just at a quick glance, he does come across Hildegard and one of the kids on the side of a building, and they look like they're necking from a distance.
I know what she's doing. I'll leave her in peace.
Yep. And she doesn't seem to notice you.
She's busy.
Yes. Iskra
Yes.
does head in the direction of the church. This would be
Hmm.
that same church from the very first night she was out. So
Right.
as she gets closer, she does see the big looming crucifix on the building.
I move off into the shadows and try not to look at it, hoping
Um,
I'll hear them as they come by if they're still here.
After waiting about 10-15 minutes, you do see them, Stefan and the boy, return. They look, kind of worn out, but
Yeah.
they look like they've probably dropped the man off at the church. The boy looks, hey, I did a good thing. Yeah,
Oh, good.
has
Good.
this, smile on his face.
Hmm.
And they pass your position.
Oh, I will make myself known. Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you.
Oh, there you are. Where's I never remember his name. He just always has that table leg with him.
Oh, yes. I'm not sure. I didn't actually ask,
Oh.
but I think he told us once, but I don't remember. But it was just terrible. Your brother, and I
Hmm.
pointed at the kid,
Yeah.
went down an alley to check something, and we think he was bitten by possibly more than one rat.
Oh
So,
my God.
my sister Hildegard can heal a bit. She did try to help him, and he went home.
Oh
So,
Lord.
yes, he's, did he go home? Was he the other one? No, no, no. It was a table leg guy decided to go home. He thought maybe he had been bitten by a rat as well, but
Oh,
was
that's
doing
right.
better.
There's
Your
rat.
brother is with, I'm not sure where they went.
Oh. Well,
Oh, I think she was walking him home because he was ill.
there's a plague of rats about. Oh, I need to get home to my family and my brother. Thank you, miss.
Hmm.
What was your name again?
Iskra. It's a
Iskra.
common name. Hmm.
Iskra. Okay.
Yes.
Well, it's nice, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I hope your brother recovers.
And he takes off, leaving you alone with Stefan. Ma'am,
I lean in. I lean into Stefan. I'm like, I am the best liar.
you seem quite adept at it, madam.
It's just, I don't know. I guess it's like storytelling.
We dropped the man off in the church. The nuns there, took him, and they said
Oh, good.
they could help him.
Oh,
Uh,
good, good.
this kid
Let's
is
let's walk away from the church a bit
okay.
as we talk.
Oh, okay. And he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to notice, and you kind of, and as you walk away from it, you start to feel slightly better. Uh, this kid doesn't. This kid and his brother just joined. They met Matthias just a couple nights ago. So this was really their first night out there. Um, they don't really seem too organized yet, but they seem like they're starting to find more kids to join them because there's a lot of crime here, and
Right,
they
right.
talk about people going out at night not returning, and
Hmm.
they don't quite
Well,
know where
yes.
they are. They talked about maybe checking the graveyard to see if that's the only because they can't find anybody and they're hoping nobody was buried or killed. So
Oh, yeah. They'll find something. Maybe. Um, in any case, we followed the other group. After you guys took the man over, and they stopped in front of Nightshade. We could hear they were thinking about going in, and I just told a bunch of lies and dissuaded them, and basically shamed them for wanting to go in, and this worked. So,
oh, good.
yeah, yeah, of course. I don't have any idea why they're listening to me, but they were. So I took advantage of it and sent them away from there. Now, I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Mr. Claudio will be very happy about that.
He doesn't know it's happened yet, but we could tell him.
Oh, should we
Yeah,
tell him?
we didn't. Oh, I don't know. These three didn't seem very sure of themselves at all. So, you know. I believe Hildegard has selected one of them.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Um,
I'm not sure where she is exactly.
and as you say that, she comes strolling up with her new friend.
Oh, there you are.
And he looks much better now. He has a smile on his face, and kind of has his arm out like to escort Hildegard up to the group. And
All right.
he says, the best thing happened to me tonight, that I thought I was out doing the Lord's work, and it came true. I've met an angel. Thank you, madam. And he kind of bows to Hildegard.
Wow.
And she's
Whatever she learned from. Yeah. Wow.
she says, I'll be looking for you again in the coming nights. Perhaps we can walk a little more. He says, I would love that, ma'am. Thank you. He says, do you know where my brother went to?
Oh, he took ill. We think he got bit by I'm not sure where he went, actually. I think he was going home.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to get going. If you see Matthias, tell him I had to go home. And I'm sorry, we just couldn't keep patrolling tonight.
Oh, of course. Mm-hmm.
And he takes off, and you are left with Hildegard and Stefan, and Praetor finds you guys and comes strolling up.
These men, and I use that term loosely, but Matthias he's reaching the bottom of the barrel, as the expression goes, in my opinion. He and the two men he was with seemed to be the most capable. The rest seemed to be, how shall I say, inept.
I agree. We followed the group, dissuaded them from going into Nightshade.
Oh, well, I'm sure the proprietor will be most pleased about that.
Of course. Yes.
I forget his name.
Claudio.
I want to say Victorio, but I knew that was wrong.
No, that's not right.
Yeah. Claudio will be most pleased.
He doesn't know yet, but we could tell him.
I don't know that these men represent much of a threat. However, with their numbers growing, they could be. Even in their ineptitude, they could get lucky and come across the wrong thing, or, in their opinion, the right thing. We probably should curtail their expansion.
Right. Well, I believe Hildegard has selected someone.
I did. He drank from me, and he will soon. He will soon be mine.
Excellent. Then we have our wolf in the sheep's clothing, as it were.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what to do about all these rats? And she laughs.
Oh, Praetor, I am the best liar. We had these men going wherever we persuaded them to.
A useful skill for our kind.
Yes, it was quite fun.
One I hope it will continue to serve.
They're not very smart, apparently.
We are dealing with peasants.
Well, that doesn't mean they're all not smart, but this group is not very smart.
Well, that may be Matthias's.
Yeah.
Yes. I suspect he may be choosing those that are perhaps more receptive to persuasion as to fall under his sway. That means that they would also be persuaded by others as well. Mm-hmm. Particularly those skilled in such arts.
Right. We had them scattered, this group. We really did.
Good.
Yeah.
I think that behooves us. Mm-hmm. In any case, we should continue to monitor this group, particularly as their numbers begin to swell, or if they continue to swell. Mm-hmm. We may have to have one or two of them succumb to an accident. For now, they remain, I think, a mild or a low threat to our existence.
Hopefully. What was it you were saying, Stefan, about them looking for?
They seem to be recruiting more kids and young men. Matthias was. I hear he's always just going on about there's evil in the streets, and that the city guard doesn't even patrol here, so that the young people are going to need to take the streets back. And they seem to be finding eager people. They don't seem to be too picky about who they take. I mean, there was a kid on a crutch,
Right. Right.
but he seems pretty persuasive with people from what I can see.
Are we sure he's not Bruja?
I haven't seen him fight. I
No,
don't know.
I've seen him out in the day. He is definitely mortal.
Okay.
Well, perhaps he's under the sway of some other.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
We should probably investigate him more thoroughly.
From a distance.
Well, we now have a member in his inner circle.
Oh, wait. Yeah, we do. We do.
We need to follow him carefully and learn more about this Matthias and who he associates with that isn't among his, how shall I say, crew. No man is an island, as it were, and he has other friends, I'm sure. And perhaps, is he paying these men to assist him?
know.
Or is it just he's inspiring them to protect the slums as a part of they live here and they should want to help others.
Yeah, he's not paying them. He's an apprentice blacksmith. He has no money from what we hear. He's just rousing good men of Christ to help protect the neighborhood.
Even still, then we must see who else he associates with. Let us make sure he is truly acting of his own accord and not following the orders of someone like us.
Right. And speaking of someone like us, we should probably tell Claudio how close he came to having these guys infiltrate.
Yes, I think it would be wise to inform him that he needs to perhaps either look for more protection or be more subtle about his ways. Although subtlety is not Claudio's particular way.
Style at all. Yes, he's not one to hide much, But
no, but if he continues these ways, he's likely to be discovered and thus fall, shall we say, under the prince's wrath.
Oh, that would be bad. Yeah. Okay. Let's go in and find him and pass this on.
Okay. We will continue in our next episode with the conversation with Claudio.
All right.
So we are going to wrap up for the evening. I'd like to thank my players again, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the next episode. Good night.
Bye.